I'm sat in the Mercedes EQE AMG. 617 horsepower, 701 pound-feet of torque. Don't things just sound better when I try to be Chris Harris? Like, they just sound better, you know? People from Britain who review cars, their words feel more important. So I had to start that way. 2023 Mercedes EQE sedan AMG. It's incredible. We're gonna briefly go around the outside, but really what's fun is driving this thing, the drive settings. We'll do those in a second. You're gonna love this car. Obviously, I was excited to get it, right? But I didn't expect to be just blown away. I'm now Darth Vader. I'm different when I drive this thing. I mean, I don't stop at red lights. I don't wave to people. I change my phone number. It's shockingly good. It has good range. Performance of 0 to 60 around 3.4 seconds, and you feel it. It also has an overboost function that adds about 50 horsepower and about 50 torquers. Look at these wheels. So these are 21-inch AMG specific wheels. Also have to be the hardest wheels in the world to clean. So you can see we have the carbon ceramic brakes. The carbon ceramic brakes are only available on the 21-inch wheels. You can see they're Brembo carbon ceramics tucked away in there. And then they have that gold finish on them. 4MATIC Plus, meaning we have an all-wheel drive system. It's an air suspension. It also has rear wheel steering, and you can see that the door handles are self-presenting. I don't really like self-presenting door handles. These always cause issues, and this car is kind of the same, actually. I've had a couple issues with times where I'm standing beside the car like, okay, let's go. I'm sure you've seen this before. This is not the plug. This is where you actually put your windshield washer fluid, or as I've called it in the past, blue liquid, which I love to call it. People said, oh, I'm not listening to this guy, he calls windshield wiper fluid blue liquid. And those are the type of people that counted their mom as their first kiss. So you can only take everything with a grain of salt. Now around the rear of the car here, we kind of have this little diffuser on the back side here. Is it a real diffuser? Probably not. AMG badging here. We also have a specific deck lid spoiler, almost like a duck lid spoiler, almost like a duckbill spoiler, not duck lid. EQE badging here. The paint is called Manufacture Graphite Gray Magno. It costs $3,250 to get this, and on the interior we have sable brown AMG Napa leather. They wrote AMG on this build sheet 450 times. Now to open the trunk here, very simple. You just press this down, opens right up, and if you own a Mercedes, you play golf, and your golf bag will fit in just like that. So that's nice. You could probably get 2 bags in there fairly comfortably, and the trunk space is actually for an E-Class. Not that big. It also does not have a frunk, and you can't even open up the hood. This is totally sealed, and that's actually a reason as to why they put the windshield wiper fluid in this area right here, so you can't go under the hood. That's really only for Mercedes service to do. They must have secrets hidden under there they don't want us to see. The exterior on this is incredible. The AMG line of this starts right around $100,000. This specific model is spec'd to $130,000. I mean, it's great to look at and great to drive. So let's just get in it. You guys, you know what it looks like. We've gone over any important exterior features. Let's take it. I just threw up all over the camera. Let's take it for a drive because that's where a lot of the functionality and fun is. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. The phone's in my pocket, okay? And yeah, I guess so. I just don't know so that's how you close it. That's how you open it. All right, I was just being stupid. So upon entrance of the car here, you can see we have heated seats, we have cooled seats. We also have lock, unlock, and all your various normal functions. AMG, AMG, AMG. This is all AMG. Also, Mercedes and the Masters, synonymous, beautiful. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? All right, so on the interior, the steering wheel immediately crazy looking. All these different levels, all of these buttons down here. And then amongst all that, you have paddle shifters in the back that adjust the regenerative braking, which is incredible. Your shift stalk is over here, so I like that that's simple. It just reduces clutter over here. There's nothing to bother with. And then obviously your turn signals, high beams, all that controls are over there. Now, as far as the displays go, we're currently on classic mode. So if I click this home button here, gives me other options. So I can go to navigation mode. There we go. Then I can kind of scroll over, and then I can hit home again, And we can go to maybe the Super Sport mode. That puts more of a graphic design on what the throttle is doing, whether you're on it or doing regenerative braking or anything like that. And again, more AMG badging. Now, one thing I really like that I don't know if I've seen this on other EVs is it says minimum range and maximum range based on how you're driving. So I think that is a very cool feature. Now, when you change drive modes right down on this dial here, it brings it up over here and you're able to adjust it however you want. So maybe you want to be in Sport Plus, but you want to have the drivetrain be in Sport. You can do that. You can change these various settings. And you can even customize the dial. So now we're looking at this dial right here and you're able to customize it. And this is a big reason that I got excited about it. You know, I've driven like lately like the Mustang Mach-E and the Kia EV6. The Kia EV6 was actually pretty good in terms of things like this. But the Mach-E was like, the infotainment's not good. And I know this is 100th, I know, okay? So shut up. But they've actually taken the time to do everything correctly in here. It shows you your charging speeds. It shows you how to adjust certain things. It shows you, you know, what's taking away from the battery the most. I just enjoy the fact that they actually took the time to give you information that you were actually going to use. So another screen here, just consumption. Then your range, it kind of shows you how to maximize your range and different things that could be pulling from it. Charging, again, something so easy. You want to adjust your max charge? Right there. You just drag that up and down. And I think that's just simple. Like they didn't make it hard, complicated or anything. High voltage battery pre-temperature control. So you can set that for optimum battery charging when you're heading to a high-speed charger. They've just done a lot of things really well. I was able to charge in my garage, no problem. It does have Apple CarPlay, so that's a nice feature if you want that, but really the infotainment system is very good on this, and we also have some buttons down here that you can press. This right here, if you press this, that's to set up like your fingerprint, so you can fingerprint recognition, but no, we're not gonna do that. You can see it has a heads-up display, and then these other various features, lane keep assist, and then just your general map. You click the car here, you can look for charging stations, restaurant parking spaces, and oh, look at that. So you can see there's not really much lag in this system. I think it's pretty well done. And then again, you can't forget, this is an AMG. It has to be fun to drive. So some of the sound effects that it makes when you floor it in Sport and Sport Plus mode are incredible. Let's take it for a drive. All right, a couple things to know here. It has a boost function that'll briefly provide 677 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque, has AMG ride control plus air suspension, 170 kilowatt DC fast charging. That's not bad, but it's, you know, it's not great. I think, you know, the goal should be 250 or above. AMG sound experience, which we will experience here shortly. The other thing that really stuck out to me, and this is better than anything I've ever seen for a warranty, is 10-year, 155,000 mile high voltage battery warranty. I mean, that's impressive for them to stand by their, you know, saying, hey, we built this car, we're gonna stand by you for 10 years and 155,000 miles. I think that's the best in the industry. I don't know of anything that's better. So nice job, Mercedes, to actually backing up your customers on these $100,000 EVs. That would give me a lot of sense of security because outside of like tires, there really isn't much maintenance on these. Now, the driving experience in the EQE, it truly is a pleasure to be in this car. The steering wheel is intimidating at first. You get over that very quickly and you realize the functionality of it and how cool it is. Also, it has paddle shifters, which adjust the regenerative braking. So I'm gonna go into no recuperation mode. So we're just gliding, I'm off the throttle. Now I'm gonna go into normal. I mean, it's crazy. So in strong recuperation, this thing pulls, and for a AMG sports car, you want to have, like, there's something about EVs and having strong recuperation, which is what they call it here, that feels good, especially when performance driving. You want to come off the throttle and have it immediately going into the brake. Or at least I do. If you don't want that, you can change it. But it just has a way of adding some sophistication to the drive, or some, you feel like a little more connected that way. So we're gonna put it into Sport Plus and do an acceleration pull here. It's incredible what this feels like. And then the sound in it is also funny too, so you'll have to hear that. But the comfort is good. I did a voice command earlier. I just said, turn on massage seat.
massage for you.
Switching on the massage for me, so it knows no one's sitting over here in the passenger seat, turns on massage, and it feels pretty good. So the fact that it has that's great. Also, the cooled seats in this car works better than any other car I've ever been in. Normally the cooled seats aren't necessarily cooling, it's just like fans sucking air away, which works well too, but I've even had friends sit in there like, oh my God, it's actually cold. I'm like, yeah. I mean, that sound is incredible. Everyone's still back at the stoplight. It's fun. And the sound, you can turn it off if you don't want it. If you think that's dumb, fine. And it is dumb, I think, when it's on the exterior of the car. On the interior, though, that adds something. That's not the stupid, like the Mustang Mach-E has the dumbest pipe, like made up sound. This actually adds something to the experience, which is what I want. Now with 21-inch wheels, you may be wondering about the ride quality. Air suspension helps that substantially, but it can at times still be rough. But like I said, you have an adaptable suspension, so I can adapt the suspension and make it soft while still being in Sport Plus in its most aggressive mode. So you can ride in comfort while still having the maximum performance out of this car. And you're not going to take this to the track, I don't think. Are you? I don't know. You guys aren't taking this. You're taking this to the golf course, and you want to beat everyone there, and you're going to do that. And the range is good. Normally, I would say, well, the range is, you know, it's only 200 miles. No, it has a 91 kilowatt hour battery pack. It's a huge battery pack, and the car weighs 5,500 pounds. I'm sure it is fun to take the track. I'm sure it is fun to take to this. What was that stutter? To take to the. I look forward to getting in this. And the other thing that how I know when a car is good, or at least good for me, is when I go on their website and I start to configure it, and that's what I did with this. I started to be like, oh, maybe I could get one of these, because I think Mercedes dealerships are having trouble moving these, and the lease deals are insane. And sometimes for people coming from Tesla, in order to pull business away from Tesla, Mercedes is offering more of an incentive, like the dealership will if you trade a Tesla in. And this is just a great driving experience. It has so much, not necessarily, well, it does, it kind of has, you know, this is more on par with the Model S. The Model S has a lot more storage, it does have more performance, and it has a lot more range, plus the Tesla charging network. Like the Model S is far ahead. But a lot of people just don't want Teslas. They want something familiar. They want their brand's electric car, and this is incredible. I mean, and the price is on par. It's like where it should be for something like this. I'll have the entry-level price at the bottom of the screen because I don't know where the EQE starts. I just know the AMG starts at $100. This one's $130,000. But this feels like a $130,000 car. I mean, this, look at this steering wheel, all the switches, you can customize this, this infotainment. I thought this looked kind of cheap here, just the way it's on there, but it's such a high resolution screen, and it is very responsive. So I'm good with how this is. And because of the functionality of the software in here, it's pretty good. You know, hopefully it has over-the-air updates, which are effective over the lifetime of your ownership. But really enjoying this is what's great. So it does have also just a swipe feature there. So there's no button, you just swipe back. Has a fully panoramic roof, which, how about that? It clamps, it meets in the center. That's kind of cool. And then the sunroof, sure it opens. Yep. AMG stitched into the back here. I'll filter both. You're gonna like this thing. I know it's a lot of money, but you're probably not on a budget if you're looking to buy this, and you're gonna enjoy it. I'm trying to do your test drive for you, you know? I think probably the move with this is to find a great lease deal on it. It does have a great warranty, like we said, the 10-year, 155,000 mile, which is good, which is excellent, but you're just gonna get in this and, oh my God. It's fun and it looks great. I drove the Mercedes EQE S, and you know, I personally would rather just have a gas-powered S-Class. Like, it's nicer. Something about it's nicer. This is fun. I like the size of it. It does lack in terms of storage space. You have no frunk. The trunk's kind of small. I didn't even test the rear seat. I'm not testing the rear seat. Who cares? it's just a blast to drive. I don't know what else to tell you. And what's most important with an AMG is the driving experience. The seats are a little stiff. I kind of had trouble finding a good seating position. I think I've got it now. But again, that's something you'll get used to over time. And like I said, the driving experience is what you're concerned about with an AMG. And the driving experience is excellent. It's engaging. You're in an EV that's efficient. So, you know, if you floor your E63S AMG, you've just spent about $10. In this, you spent a couple cents, you know, because electricity is a lot cheaper right now. And yeah, this will deliver, most likely is underrated on range. I've noticed when Mercedes does like third-party range testing, like Edmunds will do with Mercedes, they will get sometimes up to 100 miles more than they are rated from the factory. So this is rated around 255 miles of range on a full battery. I would bet it can get around 350 if I were to bet, because they're just severely underrated. Whereas Tesla's the opposite. Tesla, it's like impossible to get rated range in the real world. And I own one, so I can confidently say that I've never gotten anywhere near what they're rated as. I mean, I really can't help myself in this thing. It's endlessly fun to accelerate like that. Let's close that. I like that feature where you just swipe and it closes itself up. Look how tight that is. Just closes perfectly. So you got a suede headliner, which that's a feature. Every car should come with that. Entry-level Civics, suede headliner. It just adds something you didn't know you needed till you saw it, you know? What did Steve Jobs say? We need to show people what they want, right? That's what Mercedes is doing with this. To say, no. Don't be reasonable here. This is what you want. You want your, no, you're not retiring early. You're buying a Mercedes at the age of 30, and you're gonna spend, and you're gonna enjoy it, okay? So shut up, sign right here, and take delivery of your Mercedes EQE AMG. All right, bonus footage. There's a Model 3 Performance beside me right here. Let's see if we can take them on the exit ramp. Looks like a 2020, because those are the 2020 Model 3 Performances had the best wheels, the dark ones, the 20s. This is gonna be fun. Model 3 Performance versus Germany. Here we go. We did it! That was way too fast. Wow, that's impressive. He went to a full-out pull, and we beat the Model 3 Performance. That was impressive. Like the Model 3 Performance 0 to 60 is 3.1 seconds. It's a little quicker than this. It also weighs a lot less. This weighs more but has a lot more power. Wow. That was fun. That was a full-on, we're basically hanging neck and neck. He might have let off at a certain point, but dang. All right, bonus footage. That's actually just how the video should start. That was, that's how you want to start. Model 3 Performance versus EQE AMG. He probably wasn't expecting that. That Model 3 owner's going to work like this right now. Because the only wins he ever had in his life previous to that moment was with his car. And now we've even taken that from him. And for that I apologize. But it was fun. Huge fan of this car. I think it's great. Now, if you want to see me review the Mercedes EQB compared to the Tesla Model Y, click this video right here. If you're interested in Mercedes or Tesla, you'll like that one.